Hello friends and welcome. This video will demonstrate a variation of the fantasy Spaulders that integrate better with the fantasy breastplate. This pattern will be added to the original pattern as a bonus for past and future students. This pattern requires a PDF reader like Foxit Reader that allows you to print using tiled pages. It has a print preview and you can adjust the orientation and scale among other things. But the main thing is making sure to select the tiled large pages option. And then if you wish, you can scale the entire pattern up or down. 100% is the default size, and in this instance I am scaling the pattern up by 10% to better fit the breastplate I've already made. As you get the patterns ready, the main thing to note in this new version is the removal of the chest strapping, and the Pronounce tab is trimmed off to accept a new trim piece for the Spaulders. The Spaulders are then attached with a small buckle placed centrally across the top of the breastplate. The tooling styles shown here, as well as the steps that I took to design the embellishments, will be covered in greater detail in a premium tutorial. It'll be available soon on the website and the Academy tier of our Patreon. For any of you wanting to make a suit for yourself or any of the components, this will give you some good insight on how to go about adapting the base design that I created here to something more personalized if you so choose. Just as a preview, I use this project to demonstrate how I would go about improving the existing design to make it more unique and elaborate. I show several different possible levels of detail that are just on this one piece. For example, first is a very simple tweak to the border only, which is enhanced with a simple beveling tool. The next level is the addition of a quick and easy decorative element to the center panels, carved and beveled quickly to make things a little bit more interesting without a lot of extra work. And then there are the side plates, where I take my time to make the designs and tooling just a little bit nicer. These designs are very basic, but the point is to make this approachable to anyone with an interest in this craft. You can make intricate designs over the entire suit, or you can just choose to go with the base design as presented if you choose. Or go for no extra detail at all. There's no wrong answer here. While not completely necessary, I generally skive the underside edges of pieces that'll be joining with other components. The big difference with this design is the flared ridge along the top edge. To get an ideal shape, you will need to wet form the trim piece slightly. Essentially what I am doing is stretching the leather in a compound way while it is wet to alter the shape. I demonstrate this process here, but I'm also working on an in-depth tutorial series on hand forming leather that is coming soon, more or less. When all of the pieces are ready to assemble, the process is much the same as the original video. When it comes to assembly, due to the wet forming process, there will be variations in how the pieces line up in your projects. In my case, the holes depicted by the pattern lined up perfectly on one shoulder, and on the other they had slightly migrated. This is frequently the case when it comes to hand-forming leather, so I tend to avoid punching holes in this type of piece until the end and can double check. The advantage of the original pattern is you do not need other components to attach it to, and you can wear it by itself. However, the trade-off is mobility, and if you have or plan to make the breastplate, this variant is the way to go. So when it comes to attaching your shoulder to the breastplate, you have a number of options, but the one I tend to default to, and the one I'll show you here, is a simple strap across the top. For cosplay and light combat, a single small buckle as shown here is fine. If you require something more rugged, you can use a heavier buckle, or double the buckles for each shoulder. For anyone curious about the future content on this channel, I have many videos in progress, and I have countless topics that will be slated over the coming years, as well as sharing more custom projects. So far, we have completed one suit of armor in the base fantasy theme. It's likely the first of many, with one more already on the way. I'm also looking to provide much more how-to content for everyone in general. Anything from just starting with leather, all the way up to sharing some of the more advanced techniques of my custom projects, and even going into how to design them. It'll be a mix of free and premium content along the way, and I hope you'll join me for this exciting new venture. The full suit recap video with many additional tips for putting all the pieces together will be up shortly as well. Thank you to everyone who has supported this by purchasing the patterns, joining the Patreon, and of course those who like, comment, share, and subscribe the content as well. Every bit helps. And thanks for checking out this tutorial. I hope to see you in many future ones and project builds. See you next time.